Assalamu alaikum students. Today we will study the fate of glucose in leaves. Okay, in the previous videos we read that in the presence of sunlight plant do prepare their food in the form of glucose by using carbon dioxide and water. Okay, now in the presence of sunlight you already know that carbon dioxide and water will combine and the process of photosynthesis will occur and glucose will form in the green leaves. Okay, now what is mean by fate mean now what is going to happen with this glucose, what is the future of this glucose, in which compounds it will be converted. So we'll do study its detail. Okay, now first of all what will happen, the glucose which form during photosynthesis, it utilizes first of all some of this glucose will utilize in the cellular respiration. What is mean by respiration? Respiration mean this glucose will break down with the combination of oxygen and the process of respiration will occur and energy will release, and this energy will be utilized by the plant in all activities. Okay, so some of this glucose will utilize in respiration, and the extra glucose which will form, that will convert into starch, or it will store in the leaves or into any other part of the plant in the form of starch. Okay, and that starch at night time or in the darkness will again, because in the darkness you already know the process of photosynthesis will not occur. So what happen, that starch will convert into glucose and again it will utilize in the process of respiration to release energy. Okay, glucose molecules, they combine and they convert into sucrose, and sucrose is the form of food which is transported in the plant, which transport in another type of vessels in the plant which are called phloem, and this sucrose will be transported in different parts of the plant and it will store there. So where it has to be go? So first of all it can go into the roots of the plant. For example, in carrot, radish, food stores in the roots. So in such type of plant it will go and store in the roots of those plants. Sometime food will transfer to the fruits, for example in apple, mango, guava, and in other plants or fruit bearing plants, food will go there and will store in the fruits. And those which are leafy vegetables, so food will store there. So in the form of sucrose, that glucose will transfer to the storage organs. Okay, some of this glucose will also utilize and it will combine and it will convert it to cellulose cell wall. Okay, then what happens, some of the glucose it will convert into fats, and in that form again it will store, it will utilize in the respiration and it will utilize in the formation of protoplasm. What is protoplasm? Protoplasm is formation of new cells, and in new cells you already know that cell membrane is formed, and that cell membrane is made up of fats and proteins, so it will utilize in the formation of cell surface membranes. Okay, even in in many from many plants we get oil, for example corn oil, canola oil, sunflower oil, so it is also stored there and which can be utilized for different purpose. Okay, then it combines with nitrates which are available in the soil, and it will convert into amino acids, and amino acids you already know it is a basic unit of proteins. Okay, these amino acids will convert into protein, and this protein again will utilize in the formation of new protoplasm, new cells, and in different purpose for the formation of enzymes in the leaf, so it can be utilized in different activities. Okay, some of this amino acid will be transported to other growing regions. Again, growing regions are the root and shoot tip where cell division take place, new cells are formed, so it is utilized there in the formation of new cells. As I have already told you that fat and protein both are the part of cell membrane. So in this way, in different forms, that glucose will be utilized, which was formed by the process of photosynthesis. So if we summarize this, so what happens? First of all, this glucose will utilize in the respiration to release energy. Then extra glucose will transported in the form of sucrose. It can convert into starch. Starch is also a carbohydrate. Sucrose is also a carbohydrate. It is disaccharide. It is polysaccharide. Okay. So it will transport in different storage organs. It can store there, and when there is a requirement, it can utilize. It is also used in the formation of cell wall. It is also used in the formation of fats and proteins, and whenever they are required to the plants for different activities, so they can be utilized in the formation of different new parts and also in the process of respiration. Okay, this is the fate of glucose in the leaves. Okay, now the next topic is that the digestion and utilization of stored food in plants. Okay, now this food which was formed during the process of photosynthesis, and I told you that it's stored in different storage organs. So at the time of requirement, it will be utilized by the plant. How it can be utilized? For example, if it is stored in the form of carbohydrates, so by different enzymes, for example diastase, it will be converted into maltose. And again, in enzyme chapter and even in the digestion, we read that maltose convert into simpler glucose molecule by enzyme maltase. So in this way, these carbohydrates can be broken down and utilized by plants. Okay, in the same way, if this food is stored in the form of protein, then different types of pepsin enzyme will be utilized and erepsin enzyme will be utilized, and they will convert into polypeptides and ultimately into amino acids. And if they are fats, then it will be converted into fatty acid and glycerol. Okay, basically where it is occurring, where this process is happening. For example, food is stored in the form of, for example, this one is a seed, and food is stored in the seed in the form of carbohydrate form, and we have sown this seed and we are growing this seed. So what will happen? The stored food, when it combine, will water that seed. So what happen? It will swell up, and this enzyme will become active in this, and carbohydrate will broken down, and it will start moving to this growing region. From this area, new shoot or new root will be start growing. So in this way, this food will transfer to the growing regions. So when a new part of the plant has to grow, so at that time, stored food, for example, even in turnip and different plants in which at different seasons or due to different changes, leaf they shed, and in the new growing season, what happen? The stored food will move toward this growing region. This is the stem portion, this is the root portion where food is stored. This is a root and this one is stem. So at that time, this food will utilize in the formation of new leaves. Okay, so in this way, the transfer of food will be towards these leaves, so they can grow and they can utilize the food which is stored here. Okay, so in this way, food can be utilized by different parts of the plants. Okay, now the next topic is the importance of photosynthesis. Okay, why photosynthesis is important? Photosynthesis is very important. Why? Because you already know it is the source of food formation. Okay, so plants, they utilize that food by the process of respiration. They use that food themselves, and plants are also the source of food of other animals. Okay, the other animals, they are directly and indirectly depending on these plants. What is mean by directly? Directly mean, for example, herbivores, they are directly eating plants. For example, grazing animal, for example cow, for example horses, for example all other grazing animals, they are herbivores. They are directly eating plants. And other organism, for example carnivores, for example lion, tiger, they are eating those cows. So in this way, they are indirectly getting food from the plants, which is first utilized by the cow or goat, and then it was utilized by the lion or tiger or any other organism. So in this way, plants are directly or indirectly source of food of different animals. Okay. Secondly, photosynthesis is also very important. Why? Because it is converting solar energy into chemical energy. What is mean by this? It's mean that main source of energy in our earth is sun, and that solar energy is captured by chlorophyll, which is present in the plants in the form of green matter, and they convert that solar energy into the chemical energy in the form of glucose. Okay, so in this way, plants, they are converting solar energy into chemical energy by the process of photosynthesis. Then you already know, when plants, they grow, they are utilizing this energy which is formed by photosynthesis, and ultimately what happens when plants they die, or by different geological or geographical changes, what happens that plants, they convert into coal, and coal is a fossil fuel. Fossil fuel mean the fuel which we are getting from dead plants or animals, and fossil fuel, coal is a form of fossil fuel which we are getting from plants, and that is also a source of energy for us. We are utilizing that energy for different purpose. Okay, now photosynthesis, again it is very important for us. Why? Photosynthesis, it is a process which is purifying our environment. How it is purifying? You already know, these days we are facing global warming, and what is the reason of global warming? That if the amount of carbon dioxide increase in our environment, so carbon dioxide has ability to absorb sun heat. Okay, so it raises the temperature, and plants, what they are doing, they are absorbing carbon dioxide for the process of photosynthesis, and they are decreasing the amount of carbon dioxide, and they are increasing the amount of oxygen for breathing purpose. So they are purifying the environment. So this is the importance of photosynthesis. Okay, if there is any confusion, any problem, you can ask. Thank you.